Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Apparently AJ loves FF.
Uh, Fast fingering?
Oh my. Well, yes.
Mm,
Welcome to this new video we're doing where we're cleaning a Ferris wheel.
yeah. Oh, you're cleaning your first well, I assume. I'm cleaning the carpet on the way
Well, I'm
to it.
riding it
I'm
at
not
the
ready
minute.
yet. Oh, of course you are. You, in that case, do a full loop with the gnome. Find the gnome and do a full loop, and you'll get an achievement.
Okay, I'll work on that.
I think that's the achievement anyway. I'm not sure where the gnome is, but
Mhm.
anywho, we are back.
Yep.
How are you feeling? Because obviously last week you weren't feeling tip top.
Well,
You seemed fine on the day, but then you sort of choked up a bit, didn't you?
oh yeah, that's right. Did I tell you I'd been sick? I must have.
You told me you'd been sick, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
I
we had a
had
conversation,
I had a Chinese
as you do.
as a rare treat because I had a bit of a rough afternoon,
Mhm.
and
And wontons made you poorly.
well, I felt I had a bit of a dodgy tummy when I went to bed, and I thought, well, I've had this before, it'll pass. My system will fight it out, and we'll be fine. Then I
Hmm.
woke up at like 2:30 in the morning, and I thought, oh God, I'm going to be sick. I know I'm going to be sick, and I tried to resist it, and thought, no, it's fine. I'll just hold off, and everything will be okay. Um,
And it wasn't.
no, I realised pretty soon it was like, no, this is happening whether I like it or not. Best get to the toilet now. So I did, and I threw up, and I think there was a worm in there.
Oh, you didn't have to go into that detail.
I think I
The
think
one person that we have that's listening to it still at this
yeah,
point is now gone because of it.
because I threw up a worm.
Yeah, you didn't need.
Maybe they're into it.
But if they're into it, I don't want them to be watching anyway. So think about that, Keith.
There's only room for one pervert here, mate.
Oh, you think that can? Oh no, they
No.
can have that.
Can they? Gosh. Okay.
It's not like I want that, is it?
No.
Jesus,
No.
I draw the line somewhere. I, for my part, was not feeling great last time we recorded.
No. Ah, because you were deaf.
What?
I said you were deaf. You had a hurty ear, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't have a hurty ear anymore,
Good.
but I do still have some hearing problems. Although I will admit, my what was a joke. Ha ha ha!
Yes, I gathered as much.
It's a benefit of the tape.
Benefit the tape, yeah.
So anyway, it's still not perfect. My hearing. I mean, it was never perfect anyway, right? But
No,
it's still not back to normal.
you'll get
Well,
there.
I was under the impression that last night was going to be the last night of there being issues.
Well,
It got to about midnight, and I was getting into bed, and I thought, you know what, this feels fine. This is all good. I'd had some painkillers, so maybe that was lulling me into a false sense of security.
yeah.
Because at 1:30, I woke up in absolute agony.
Oh no.
Yeah, but today I took some painkillers at 6:30 when I woke up again in pain, and then I took some precautionary ones about 12 o'clock.
Don't
Or
overdose.
well, no, because hang on, here's the thing. Because you've known nothing about my painkiller use, and that's your immediate reaction. If you fucking listen a minute, what has been happening of late is I have been very eager to be able to take some more painkillers when I was able to take some more painkillers,
Yeah.
and typically that would be every 4 hours.
Yeah.
The fact that I managed to get 6 hours and I didn't feel the need to take them, I decided I wanted to for the sake of
Well,
precautionary measure.
I'm just
Tells
saying.
me that the pain situation is better than it was.
Yes.
That's the takeaway from that. It's not like I mean, fucking the amount of hoops I have to jump through to take medicine in the first place. It's you know
Well,
it's more hassle to overdose than it is to just suffer.
be careful. All the same.
You don't. There's no faith in me at all.
I have faith in you. I just worry.
At no point over last week, including the times when I was being a bit more fast and loose with it because I was in too much pain to even sleep. Have you expressed a concern? And
Well,
now here I am saying, oh, actually things are good now, and you're like, oh, worry, we'll be careful.
okay.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
all right, fine. Overdose. See if I care.
yeah, I will. And guess what? This will be admissible in evidence.
All
Because
right.
guess who's recording this as well, bitch?
Oh no.
Bam, bam, bam. No,
Yeah.
I'm not recording that.
Okay.
If I overdose on pain, like if I accidentally take too many during the course of a day and that kills me, when I was dying, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, I don't I normally play very carefully when it comes to medications because I don't take an awful lot of medication. I have, despite the fact that I'm a fat bastard, I'm actually surprisingly healthy.
That's not
Right?
true. That you're a fat bastard.
It is.
Well, all right.
Anyway, point is, I am actually genuinely fairly healthy.
You're a
I don't have
chunky,
an awful lot of medication to take
chunky
in my
boy.
life, and so therefore, I'm a bit more cautious about having to take it when I do have to take it.
This thing's
Because
gonna be a fucking nightmare.
I know I told you about last week, but I
You,
don't think you were necessarily paying attention.
well, I. Mm,
Do you remember me telling you last week?
yeah.
Okay, and you were paying attention then, or you're lying now. Either way.
No, I was paying attention.
So, we have you got a topic you want to go on to?
Um.
Anything in particular comes to mind?
Well, let me peruse me list.
Oh, you actually made a list.
Cool. I always make a list.
What
Um.
list? Not
I
when we're
made
doing
a.
a video about the Star Wars movies.
I no. I made a work faux pas
Did you?
socially.
Okay.
I can't remember how this came about, but that colleague who I have the
Did you
sort
call
of
someone a cunt?
no, that colleague
Okay.
who I have the sort of similar to you adversarial love hate uh,
Yeah. Go on.
relationship with. I don't know how this came about, but I think she was because I mentioned before I've got a colleague who's going on maternity leave,
Yes.
and we're all very fond of this colleague, and my U-type colleague joked that she was going as well. And I can't remember exactly how it came about, but I joked that she was pregnant.
Uh oh.
And she
Never
gets
joke about people being pregnant.
I know. That's well, I've learned that. She gets very stressed about this because she doesn't have her time of the month, so she has no conventional way of knowing, there and then for sure type thing. So she went out and got a pregnancy test like the next day, I think. Um,
Which, let's be fair, is only a concern at all because she's getting some. So
yeah. Good for her. Um,
it's good to get some.
yeah,
I know you wish you were. So
yeah, I could take it or leave it, really.
no, let's be honest, you would take it rather than leave it.
Well, yeah, sure, but I'm not.
You wouldn't give it either. You'd take it. You would take it hard.
You've thought about this, haven't you? You've been
Hey, I know what you're like, Ben. I've
you
known you for a long time.
you've been writing those fanfics again.
I've been too poorly to write those fanfics, Ben.
All right.
I'll get back on it in a couple of weeks.
Please do. I'm eager to find out how we get on in that cabin.
Not well. I'll spoiler alert.
Yes.
Anywho, yeah. So she's getting some, or else you wouldn't be concerned,
Well,
right?
yes.
So look at
And
her.
yes. And it gradually occurred to me because other people sort of got into this too. Um, and she sort of was enjoying how uncomfortable I was with this realization because she joked that if I am, you've just ruined the announcement. And imagine how terrible you'd feel then.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh shit, what if she is pregnant and something goes wrong? You know? And I felt awful. I felt very stressed about the whole thing, and I apologised to her.
Well,
And
that should let this be a lesson
it
for you to not
is.
make jokes about people's potentially medical status.
You're quite right.
Um, so yeah,
Yes,
and that goes for you at home,
yes.
kids.
This has been public service announcement from us.
Tune in next time for Don't Make Cancer Jokes.
Yeah, Oh shit! I shouldn't be doing that. Fuck.
Um, I mean, you're fine if you've not done that one. It's not next week, is it?
Oh,
You get a week on it, and then you can
okay.
tell me about how it all went horribly wrong.
I'll think of some good ones and then regret it afterwards. How about
Yes, why not?
that? But yeah, that was quite the lesson for me.
Oh well,
Because it was like, oh shit, how awful would it be if she was pregnant and then she lost it? Like, oh shit.
yeah.
So
I
yeah, but she was fine. She was fine with it. I mean, she even said like, if that happened, I would have joked about it. Like she would have joked about it. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Some people are more capable of doing that. How they deal with
Well, yeah,
such things, isn't it?
she's got a lot of issues, bless her. She's all kind of fucked
Hey,
up.
all the best people do,
Yeah,
and all the worst people too.
yeah,
But that sweet spot in the middle, they're perfectly normal.
yeah,
Just bear that in mind, everyone.
yes, yeah,
I had a bit of a well, I've got a story about someone who had a bit of a work faux pas as well. I
yeah.
don't know the person, but it's a story I've been told, and therefore I feel comfortable telling it because I don't know names to incriminate them.
Lovely. Go proceed.
A colleague of mine has a friend who works as HR for a global company.
Okay.
They were. I was told today about this friend, the HR worker friend, who had to lead a disciplinary for someone who had been caught watching porn at work.
Oh my god.
The porn in question was, if I remember correctly, animated bukkake
Oh my god.
and bestiality,
Oh my god.
and not at the same time. And the reason I specify that is because there are some animated characters that are animals that are considered to be sexy, right?
Okay. Like
Like I'm not no one specific for myself, but like there are some people who like
Rob.
a lot of people have a fondness for the animated Robin Hood
Yes, I was going
type,
to say
for
Robin
example.
Hood. Yeah, and the Lion King characters.
Yeah, and
Doctor.
Julie Holtz from what's her name?
Yeah, Doctor
Uh,
Eggman. Yeah, things like that.
yeah. So there are certain. It would be easy for there to be a crossover,
Yeah.
but from what I gather, there was not a crossover.
Okay, so this was animated stuff and then
And then animal
genuine
stuff.
bestiality. Okay, that's
From what I gather,
at
and I don't know about
work.
you, but apparently at work, yeah.
What's the faux? Is
Um,
that the faux pas?
that is the faux. Oh, yeah, of course, that's a faux pas.
Oh, sorry. That's
Jesus,
worse than mine.
that is worse than yours.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. At least you're not
No.
presumably trying to jack it,
No,
but
God
still.
no.
To I mean,
It's an open
I'm not.
plan office. I can't be doing that.
Oh, exactly. I wouldn't get away with it either,
No, except when you work
unless
at
I was
home.
working from home.
Yeah.
I work at home half the time. The other time I'm in the office. But I've been too poorly to even do that at home.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
In private hours, let alone, you know.
Mm.
I've just been too poorly, Ben. So
I'd
anyway,
like to hear a funny
yeah,
joke I heard.
go on then.
Somebody from work showed me a joke that one of their friends had shared on Facebook, and it said, "It's been so long since I've had sex, I'm frying bacon just to be spat on."
Okay.
I thought that was very amusing.
I I mean, as someone who's never been spat on in the act of
Really?
sex, yeah, genuinely.
Gosh.
Funny enough, despite what you may think of me, there's an awful lot more respect in my sexual
I,
encounters with men.
I wanted to spit on you for years, and we've never had sex.
As far as I recall, the only person who's ever spat on me was that one kid in school.
Yeah. Was that while you were having?
And
That wasn't while you were having sex.
no, that was
Good.
a non-sexual spitting. But no, I don't recall there being any sort of spitting going on in.
That's very surprising, and you've been a Lib
Well,
Dem
you
candidate
know,
for council. You've never been spat on.
I know, right?
Gosh.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I wouldn't be open to trying it out. I'm just saying it's never happened. And I don't spit on people for
Huh.
during sexual activities either because it's just disrespectful.
Well, not if it's consensual.
No, you can consensually disrespect someone still.
You're a. Huh.
Are you surprised by that?
Yes.
Yeah, well, there's a difference, I would say, between it. I would say it crosses over to degrading.
Well, that can be arousing.
Like it can, of course, absolutely, but not necessarily for me.
Well, each to their own,
Yeah,
as the
you know,
Bible
and
says.
yeah, don't get me wrong, I'll slap a bitch up any day, but
Oh my
I ain't
heavens!
gonna I ain't gonna spit on her.
No,
With
you're a
actually, oh
gentleman.
no, actually, I will actually clarify for the sake of there are certain parts of the body where that benefit from lubrication.
Oh no.
So I have on occasion been known to provide saliva
Ah,
um, whilst going down.
okay, well,
But that's separate to that's you're not really spitting on someone, are you?
spitting in
You
them.
well, I wouldn't even say spitting in. It's
Well, this is.
spitting at spitting at someone implies face, doesn't it?
Well, this is.
Let's be honest.
Okay, can we talk about something else?
You started it.
I know, and I regret it, as always.
Yeah, well, you should have thought about that.
I should
The
have.
Pope's still knocking about, isn't he?
He is. I wonder if he's ever
I'm
spat
so,
on anybody during sex.
well, almost certainly. But we don't talk about the choir boys, so
No,
because they don't know anything about it either.
no. They're too
I
busy
suspect you was
being
off the hook for
concerned
that.
about being raped by bishops.
Jesus Christ, Ben! There I was trying to get out of the trouble for implying that the Pope and or his associates may or may not be paedophiles.
Well, this has certainly been one of our better videos, I think.
Yep, some unknown person was looking at some really dodgy porn. Ben may have ruined a pregnancy.
Jordan doesn't like getting spat on except in certain places when he provides lubrication, and golly gee willikers, there's an awful lot of rape in the church.
Tune in next week for. Oh wait, what was it next week? Don't do cancer jokes. And is the Pope still here?
Yes.
No, is it? We don't know. It's not next week yet.
Okay.
So no, yeah, the Pope's still about somehow.
Yeah,
I
that's
was under the
weird.
impression that he was going to be dead before we did this next one. But
Well,
I didn't write anything about it because I thought, well,
I'd
I need to wait
forgotten.
until we see what's happened.
I'd forgotten he was poorly.
See, I sort of had as well, but one of the lads shared a betting apps thing for who the next Pope would be.
All right.
Which I mean, I immediately went to my preferred betting app of choice, and they did not have, so far as I could see, an option to bet on the next Pope.
I don't know whether we've ever discussed this before, but I think time was there used to be a sort of betting website, and it was like the stock market but for celebrities.
Okay,
So you would invest in certain celebrities, and if they hit the headlines, you got a bit of money for it. That was how it
naturally.
worked. Um, and it sort of makes me think: who would you bet on? What would be your investment portfolio? What would that look like today?
Well, it's funny because I actually have an investment portfolio.
Do you?
I do genuinely have an actual real world investment portfolio. It's not doing well at the moment, but things are a bit weird, aren't they? So,
Yeah.
yeah, we if I was to pick a celebrity that was, I would want Mike Myers
Yeah.
because of upcoming movies.
Okay.
Seems a safe bet.
Yeah. He might be a
Uh,
pretty. His price might have gone up since the Shrek 5 trailer.
well, yeah, but he also does a lot of SNL stuff, doesn't he? Well, he's done some. He was ending to be Elon recently?
I don't know. He was on SNL as a youngster.
I
That's
feel
where
like he
that's
did
where
it
he got
fairly
his
recently
start.
because
He
I
probably
think
did.
it was him with the chainsaw as Elon recently, which is why I think it was
Mm.
recent. So anyway, yeah, yeah, I feel like Mike Myers would be a reasonable. It'd be a slow burner, but it's a certain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You want a few safe certain picks and maybe a wild card.
you want someone who's controversial.
Mm.
So J.K. Rowling, safe bet.
Yeah.
Again, probably expensive to start with, but you'll get the returns.
Yeah. Um.
I would want George R. R. Martin.
Yes, because he's getting on, bless him, and there's always talk of these new books. So yeah, I think that's a
I feel
safe-ish bet.
like.
Yeah.
Hang on, where are you? Oh,
Well, I think you want someone famous
I
who.
think it's lagging for me. You
Oh,
still there?
yeah. You can you hear me? Can you hear
I
me?
can now. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Uh,
said I can now. Yeah.
yeah. Oop, I think you want someone who people haven't been thinking about for a while, who was maybe popular in their childhood years. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
So when they die, you get cash back. And there's always stories written like, "You'll never imagine what so and so looks like now."
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
And it's always somewhat. They always use a really, really inappropriate picture for it.
yeah, some
Like you'll never guess what the cast of Malcolm in the Middle are doing now, and it's some really. It's like some 90-year-old woman, AI
yeah,
generated,
yes,
with her tits hanging out.
yes.
It doesn't make any sense.
I'll never forget.
That doesn't look like Frankie Muniz at all.
They did they did a you know who Christine Keeler was? She was
Not off the top of my head,
she
but go on.
was the woman at the heart of the Profumo scandal. She was having an affair in the 60s with the Conservative War Minister John Profumo, and it was a huge
Okay.
scandal in the day. And she was quite the sex symbol. She's a very attractive woman. And
Mm.
there was a story, um, I guess not too long before she died, that was along those lines of Christine Keeler looks very different now. And it's like, yeah, of course she does. She's fucking 78. She was in
Yeah.
her early 20s when all that shit was kicking off. Of course, she's old and fat and saggy. That's what happens to people. Leave her alone. She's just out doing her shopping.
Um.
I think I'd probably go. Well, I think you'd probably want an old prime minister. They'd probably
Yes, I was just trying to work out. I was thinking. I see. I wasn't thinking Prime Minister. I was thinking I might say someone like Bush.
yes, Clinton or John Major. I've actually got a John Major topic which we'll come on to, but I would probably have John Major.
You want to come on to John Major? Ugh, you sicken me.
Okay, all
All
right,
right,
all right.
send pigs.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
definitely one for the history books. This one. Yeah, I'd have um, John Major, um, Stephen Fry would probably pop up again.
mm,
David Attenborough,
yeah, because he'll die
uh,
soon,
and
for better or worse.
and
I just to clarify, when I say for better or worse, I don't want
no,
David Attenborough to die, but like he's getting on a bit now, and there comes a point where you're probably better off dying than carrying on living,
yeah. And
isn't there?
I'd probably have a somewhat minor member of the royal family, like maybe Princess Beatrice or something.
Didn't she have a baby recently?
Yeah, maybe I don't know. One of the twins did. Twins,
Her or Eugenie or so? I don't know.
or Fergie. Is she still pumping them out?
What from Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah,
Oh.
seems
So
like a
yeah,
that's
there's
Fergie.
there's options, isn't there? But yeah,
Yeah,
you've got to you want you're right. You want a few people that are regularly in, so you've got a steady
yeah.
stream of
Someone who
resources.
we can presume due to age is probably about to be.
Yeah.
And then like a wild card, you pick like I don't know, Viola Davis or something, or Monica Lewinsky, or
She came to mind actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
or I don't know, Princess Diana.
Oh God, you'll be
She
milking that
pops
gravy
up.
train forever.
Yeah, Meghan Markle would be like the you gotta remortgage your fucking house to afford a
Yeah.
share in Meghan Markle in that
I
website.
I do genuinely have an investment portfolio. I wasn't being silly.
I know, I bet you do.
Um,
What you
I
invested in?
well, I have it's only a small investment at the moment.
Yeah,
It's on Trading 212.
yeah,
I've got. I have invested £200 into a thing called a daily dividend pie. Now I've only been doing this for a month or two, so
Yeah,
I plan on raising it higher.
yeah,
But the idea is that after a certain period of time, basically every day you get a small dividend from these people,
that's nice.
and I've already gained
Oh,
3 pence.
oh my God,
But it's early days, and
it
it's
all
only very
adds up.
beginning of it, and it is yeah exactly. But the markets are having a bit of a moment because of stuff.
Yeah,
So
my,
I also have £11.24 of stock in Adidas, but I got that for nothing.
all right.
So
I My colleague mentioned that there's a challenge thing you can do where you put every yeah, you start. It's a saving thing for the year. So day one you put away 1p, day two you put away 2p, and then 3p and 4p and so on.
yeah, I have that with Plum.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do that as well. But I use that less for actually saving the cash and more for paying for my recurring expenses. So stuff like the gas, the electric, for
yeah.
example. I'll take it out of that and bung some of it into the fund for that,
I
and
sh-
some of it into the fund for my for like the paying off the loan a
yeah,
bit faster and paying off a credit card a bit faster and shit like that. So I'm saving to reduce expenses rather than saving to
yeah,
save, which I think is a reasonable way of doing it.
yeah. I mean, I did think I have thought about investing. I think it's probably sensible. You know,
Yeah, we've got to do something because I mean pensions don't go everywhere, do they? They go forever, and
yeah.
we've only it's going to be a long time before we necessarily get to use our pensions, if at all.
Well, mine's guaranteed. I think
Well, no, but I mean, like, you're
state
how
pension.
old are you going to have to be?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Mm.
I think that anyone who the cut off at the moment, I think, is 68 for people, and that's they
That
keep lifting it.
that's state though, isn't it?
Well, I mean, yeah, but let's be honest, you're gonna keep working until because why wouldn't you? Realistically, you would.
What do you mean?
You'd keep working.
Would I?
You'd get bored.
No,
You don't have the capacity for entertaining yourself like some people do.
I do.
You really don't. Trust me,
What
mate.
do you mean? Yes, I do.
Trust me. I know
Why?
you.
No, you don't.
Are you telling me that you would go from doing a 4 day a week job to not having work to do
I've
every day,
well,
and you would you know
yeah, I'd invest it in my hobbies. I would. But why are you
and
tutting?
that Ben, that is the exact circumstance of someone who retires and then dies 3 months later.
No, fuck you.
No,
I.
I'm just telling you, it's.
You're full of shit. I've got my hobbies. I've
I'll
got,
have I'm definitely not full of shit because
I've,
basically every hour and a half I'm pumping out toxic waste at the moment.
I've got
So
my writing and I've got my videos. I'd do that and I'd be quite content. I think the only place I'd suffer was with the socialization, and I don't know. I could do that. I think. No,
well, it's a long way off anyway.
probably.
So
Well, I don't know. I think I've got a really good pension. Um, and I've got a lot going for me. So
it was suggested not too recently. Sorry, not too long ago, but I could potentially join a romantic partner of mine in the south of France at a place that they may inherit at some point in the next 20 to 30 years. Um,
gosh.
that'd be nice.
Well, with her other partner.
Well, I mean, like one assumes, but you know.
Oh, I'd miss you. I thought we were going to do something. I thought we were going to open that B&B.
Well, what do you think? Where do you think the best place for a B&B is, Ben?
Can I come too?
Only if you keep rubbing it.
He's on rare form tonight.
Look, what it is this is the most perky I've been all bloody week,
Yeah, yeah. I thought you
and I
sounded
need to.
uncharacteristically chipper.
Yeah, I'm. I've been. What it is I'm so sure that I am nearly at the end of this fucking nightmarish suffering I've been through.
Yeah, it's good when you
That I am.
feel like the tide has turned.
I really. the fact that I've not needed to take the painkillers since this morning is filling me with so much confidence about my impending recovery.
Yeah,
I just want a good night's sleep. I want to sleep. I want to sleep through the night
yeah.
because I've not had an unbroken night's sleep since last Monday. Um, so I'm very tired still.
Well, speaking of sleep,
And all of a sudden, that was a lot louder in my left. I don't know whether you just got louder or.
well, yeah. Yes, I mentioned John Major earlier.
No, he's not gone to sleep. They've not put him to sleep, have they?
No, not yet. I start because I like to watch political documentaries.
What? No way.
When I'm eating my din dins. Is that a volcano?
Yeah, there's a volcano in this game.
Oh fuck! Do we have to clean that too?
Yeah, when we have to go to the supervillain's lair.
Right. Yes, I'm watching a 3 hour documentary about John Major, which might be the most boring thing in the world to some people, or a lot of people.
I'm not even sure John Major would find it that interesting.
um, yes,
This is your life.
a lengthy political documentary about a man famously regarded as being tedious and uninspiring. Yeah. Um, yes, for those of you that don't know, John Major was Prime Minister after Margaret Thatcher and before Tony Blair. So
What, six
he's,
years was it?
yeah, he was 90 to 97, so 7.
Oh, I thought it was 91.
No, Thatcher was 89 to 90, yeah. Um,
No,
yes,
79 to 90.
79, sorry. Yeah, it doesn't help that he finds himself sandwiched between two iconic, larger than life figures of 20th century British politics. Um,
He was the Liz Truss of his day, but a lot more competent.
yeah, I guess. Well, more like the Theresa May.
I don't know. I've a lot of respect for Theresa May. I know we talk about it. I feel bad for her.
Well, I don't.
You don't have to.
I often forget John Major's name, which is difficult. So I thought I watch a documentary about John Major. So I have been, and the first night I watched it, I dreamt about him.
Oh, was it a Shakespeare? Oh my God! It wasn't like that Mr. The Smithers one with Mr. Burns flying in through the window, was it?
No,
Oh, okay.
it was he was my therapist.
Okay.
I think from what I can recall, there was a group of us, and he was like we were out, and he was just sort of the leader of the group, and sort of how when you're in your dream, it's not necessarily stated that he was my therapist, but you know it in the dream.
Sort of like how I had that dream about David Mitchell and Victoria Coren Mitchell
Yeah.
invited me to their wedding thing, and it was implied that therefore we were friends.
What was the turn of phrase Victoria Coren used that sounded like a euphemism?
Uh, oh, I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know. We have recorded it.
Uh, so it was something about food, wasn't it?
I can't
It's,
remember. I can't remember, but it was we agreed at the time it sounded like a euphemism. We were pretty sure it wasn't, but it did sound like the sort of euphemism she would use.
yeah, it really did. It's almost like I actually know them, but
Yeah.
only in my dreams.
But yeah, John Major
Whose life did I inhabit with that sleep?
John Major was my therapist in a dream. And he was laughing and joking with the group of
Get some
us.
food in your mouth. That was it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know what she means,
I know what she means as well.
but I don't think it's a thing.
I don't think it's a thing, but it works, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Anyway, carry on. John Major was a therapist.
yeah. I mean, that's
Carry
that's
on.
really all I've got. I mean,
Oh,
I did watching this documentary. I do find myself quite liking him. He seems like a decent guy. I mean, there was one bit where
yeah, he
he
probably was.
he got a bit emotional because he was talking about his humble upbringing and
His train collection.
and how he got like two O levels or something.
He accidentally used a postage stamp he'd intended to save.
He don't be mean. He only got two O levels and he deliberately didn't give a shit at school. And he came home and his parents, acted like they weren't disappointed, but he knew that they were. And he was literally choking back tears. His voice started to quiver a bit, and it was like, oh, John, I'm so
And
sorry.
then did he tell you about that time he ran through a field of wheat?
No, that do you know the that's a reference, of course, to when Theresa May was asked what the naughtiest thing she'd ever done was.
Yeah, really, it should have been the gangbang.
Yeah.
But
The best response to that was John Oliver, who referred to her as Thatcher in the Rye,
yeah,
which
great.
I
Yeah.
thought was amusing. Um, and Jeremy
Mm.
Corbyn, when he was asked, said, "Oh, I couldn't possibly tell you," which is, a fairly uninspiring,
Well,
but a good answer.
weren't there times when he was associated, he was being linked, fairly or otherwise, with militant groups,
Yeah.
the IRA or Hamas or whatever?
Oh, I
So
don't know.
actually, he probably couldn't tell us.
Hmm. Yeah.
No, I don't necessarily believe such allegations were reasonable or based in
Mm.
anything other than misinformation.
Mm.
But, but,
But
I'm just saying. I, funnily enough, have been sort of watching a documentary lately.
have you? Is it F1?
No,
Okay.
despite your encouraging me not to, I started watching Voyager.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, I'm almost well. Let's just say the episode that I had just started is a first in the show appearance of John Delancey.
Hey. Oh, hang on. Is that the one? Is that the one with the
I just
Q who?
literally
Oh.
God.
Is that the one with the Q who wants to kill himself?
He has expressed that he wants to die.
Yeah, that's my favourite episode of Voyager, which is annoying because it's
I
basically a TNG episode.
I obviously I've not seen it because I got about as far as him saying that, and then I saw that you were online, so I stopped.
Uh,
But what this means is that I have got past threshold.
the
Do you
famous.
remember threshold?
Is that? I believe that's famously the one where Paris and Janeway turn into lizards.
That is the salamander episode.
Yeah,
Yes.
and have kids.
I see. I remembered thinking that there was a salamander episode.
Yeah,
Googled it about 5 minutes before the salamander reveal,
yeah.
and then found out, oh, this is the one that people regard to be the worst episode ever. And actually, I didn't think it was that bad in the grand scheme of things.
I don't suppose
It
you.
wasn't a.
Sorry,
Sorry,
go
go on.
on. No, you go on.
I didn't think it was a great episode, but I don't think necessarily it would be. I kept watching it. There were some others that I sort of
Uh,
flicked through my phone through
oh
instead of.
God, yeah. Voyager's full of fucking episodes like that.
There's a lot of filler at the moment. I'm
Yeah,
nearly into season 2, so.
like every like.
Oh, and I only started on Sunday, by the way. So the fact that
Mm,
I'm nearly season 2
yeah.
tells you just how little sleep I've actually been getting.
See, DS9 and TNG sort of start off a bit weak and then really fucking explode and get great, and that never really happens for Voyager, which is a
Well, you
shame
see,
because
like
it's a
you've got
premise with
to
great potential.
you got to remember, I've got a other emotional attachment to Voyager because of my fondness from the game
Oh yeah,
that I played. And we did a tour of Voyager from that game in one of these videos.
yeah. We shot
And at,
Neelix.
and at some point, I plan to carry on playing that game properly. I just haven't got around
Mm.
to trying to get it to actually record properly.
Have you?
Um,
I always feel like Voyager. The distinction I sort of make between Voyager and Enterprise is that Enterprise is so much more than the sum of its parts, and Voyager is so much less.
when you say Enterprise, do you mean
Not the
the TV
original.
show Enterprise?
Yeah,
Okay, from the 2000s rather than
yeah.
okay with Scott Bakula.
Bacula, yeah,
Like, well, that's the same difference.
yeah, um,
Dracula's mate.
yeah. Uh, yeah, that's always what I think of those two shows because there's a lot of stuff I really like in Voyager. I like the Doctor. I like Neelix to a fair extent.
Well, that's the
Um,
thing I've
I like
noticed
I
that
like Tuvok. I like Janeway. You know,
I made
I love the theme. I love the premise, but it never really gets good
I made a point
consistently.
of writing down that because my understanding is that people generally don't find Neelix to be an overly enjoyable character.
Yeah.
That's the impression I got. But actually, he's very much a voice of reason in the first season.
Mm.
There's this bit where he's like, they've got the most powerful ship in the sector, and they're looking for trouble. Why the hell are they not just leaving?
Mm.
And it's like, oh, actually, you know what? He's kind of got a point.
I
Why do what is it? Best ship in 100 light years. Why are you trying to find a space anomaly to tear it apart?
yeah.
And he's not wrong.
I yeah, I Neelix gets better once they ditch the whole Kez thing. That was a
Yes.
bit Kez thing that was a bit weird, and
Well, she's still alive for me, so don't spoil it.
I'm not going to. But
I know she's not in the game, so she dies before season 7.
well, I won't spoil it.
I know she's not in the game, so she dies before season 7. I have it in my head that she dies before Jerry Ryan joined. So I
Mm.
feel like that's part of because I look, she doesn't do it for me, but I get the impression that she's meant to be quote the sexy one.
Well, that was a whole big fucking thing. She and Kate Mulgrew, or Kate, well, specifically Kate Mulgrew, did not like her because Kate Mulgrew took her role as captain really seriously, and it was women in science fiction and inspiring girls to get into science and doing this seriously and doing this properly. And then ratings aren't great, so we get sexy Jerry Ryan in with revealing clothing, and she really didn't like that at all,
Well, can you blame her?
and took it out on Jerry Ryan by all accounts.
Well, that's not necessarily fair, but
No, it wasn't.
um, but yeah, I think he's annoying, but he made sense. His whole jealousy thing in season 2 seemed a bit silly, but I mean,
I just
like you say, it's
it's
Kez, isn't it?
it's
Kez,
not
so.
it's not endearing to the character,
Yeah,
that relationship. He's clingy, and he does much better once he's past all that. And I actually
yeah.
did get a bit teary eyed in his final scene. But, yeah. And
Um,
Chakotay's bland as fuck? Do you think?
Sometimes, yeah.
Because they give him
It's
nothing to
worth
do.
noting we've met some of these people,
We have.
and I there was one particular episode, the one after the Salamander episode,
Yeah.
which made this sort of really make sense to me because obviously there's that whole degrees of separation thing,
Yeah.
and obviously Tim Russ shook hands with him.
Yeah.
Still the softest hands I've ever shaken,
Uh.
which is a story that I tell often because it's true.
Yeah.
And Robert Beltran, who was Chakotay, made him laugh. I remember him laughing.
That's nice.
Obviously, we were both there. So, but the thing is, the main person other than Tim Russ for the episode after the Salamander episode was Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
So we have one separation from Chucky.
Yeah. Yes.
How crazy is that? Like, I didn't realize. I didn't realize until literally last night. And then I was thinking, okay, well, who else is there? We've only got one separation between us and because Chase Masterson was there as well for
Yes, I
separation.
remember. That's my one of my favourite memories of that day because you got a bit flustered, and she told you to calm down, and then she started talking about Jesus.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, wasn't it? But no, she was there, and she was in Robin Hood Men in Tights,
Yeah.
which has Carrie Yules in it, and Carrie Yules was in um, both Saw and The Princess Bride, which is basically my favourite film.
Well, I'm sure Mel Blanc, not Mel Blanc, Mel, what's his
Brooks.
name? Mel Brooks made a cameo appearance in Men in Tights. Surely, did he play Friar Tuck? I think he
I don't know.
did. I think he did.
I've never
Yeah,
seen it, so I've never actually watched
I'm pretty sure he played Friar Tuck
it. Okay, well, feel free to
in Men
spoil
in
it if
Tights.
so.
So we're connected to him, and by extension, Gene Wilder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, you're not so
And
blown away
no,
by
no,
that.
but it's what I mean, Gene Wilder's fine, but
Yeah.
he's not in any of my absolute favourite films.
All right.
You know,
Well,
but that also means that we're. I mean, obviously you could do this, but you can basically link anyone at this point anyway.
oh well, Star Trek is
But
such a yeah.
when you take into account that Robin Wright was also in, I'm pretty sure it's Robin Wright was also in Princess Bride. That means that
Yeah,
we're connected to Tom Hanks
and Kevin Spacey
and Kevin Spacey
because she
and
was in
so
House of
many fucking
Cards.
people.
Yeah.
You know,
Should we distance ourselves from Kevin Spacey now? Is it time?
I think so. Well, I mean, I don't know because what was the situation there legally? What happened?
Well,
Didn't he get away with it? I mean, wasn't he found not guilty?
I think a number of people involved died mysteriously.
Oh, okay. They actually themselves, did they?
So there, he can't be guilty.
Because he had nothing to do with it.
No, although he,
Absolutely none of them accidentally fell in front of a train, subway train in Washington DC, just like what's her face from what's
yeah,
it called?
yeah, they really should have That series went off the people were like saying, "Oh, House of Cards." Nobody talks about it anymore, and it was so
Yeah.
fucking big. And I feel like people think it's because of Kevin Spacey, but that series was going off the rails long before then. Because the British series wraps up pretty neatly. I think we've talked about it before. The gist
Yeah.
is Francis Urquhart, who is the English equivalent of Francis Underwood, Kevin Spacey's character, becomes prime minister for like a decade or something, and strips a welfare state and all of this stuff, and does all these terrible things, and then he gets bored, and then there's a scandal about stuff he did while he was in the army, like war crimes, and it's
Mm.
threatening to destroy everything, including his legacy. So his wife gets her lover to assassinate him to preserve his legacy.
Which is nice.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But then why would they take that away from Spencer Perceval?
Well, yeah. It's weird to think there's only been one prime minister assassinated.
Well, we're a lot more relaxed, aren't we? And they did try. The IRA did try and assassinate Thatcher.
Yeah, you got
So
lucky this time, but remember you have to get lucky every time. We only have to get lucky once, and then they never got lucky.
no, because she died, didn't she?
Yeah, because of a strike. I mean stroke.
Oh, I thought she'd accidentally drank some water.
Uh,
But yeah, no. So it's nice to. Oh, also Tim Russ was in Live
Spaceballs.
Free and Die Hard, or whatever it is for Die Hard film.
Yeah,
So that links us with Bruce Willis. Which links us with
Demi Moore, I suppose.
who was it in Death Becomes Us or Death Becomes Her or
Oh,
whatever it is.
Meryl Streep
That's the
and
one.
Goldie Hawn.
There. So we're connected to Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
Um, you know, I just you can lucky you can connect anyone. Once you
yeah.
get into any of this shit, you can connect anyone.
I mean, hell, I've
John Delancey was in Breaking Bad.
yes, he was. I mean,
So
I've spoken before about our connection with, yeah, mine and by extension your connection with Kevin Bacon himself,
yeah,
um, which means we're connected to just about every actor who ever lived, or
yeah.
you know,
So it's nice to. But I'm curious how quickly we can get to people. If I could be bothered, I would sort of map it out. But it's going to take so much work, and I can't be out.
well, yeah. I mean, we could name an actor and see if we can get to them.
Oh, I don't know if I could be out.
We used to do that.
We did, but I'm a different man to who I was back then.
All right, give me an actor and I'll see if I can get to him. Give me
Uh,
two.
Timothy Chalamet,
Yeah.
uh, Roseanne.
Okay, I'm not familiar with Timothy Chalamet's work.
That's interesting. I thought you'd have been less familiar with Roseanne, but
I could struggle on the sitcom. So change Timothy Chalamet to something else.
no, you don't know, no. I've given you the challenge. Meet it.
Okay. Well, he was in that thing about a king where he played, didn't he?
Oh.
Do you know any?
He's in Dune.
Okay.
He's in the modern day Dune film.
Who else is in the June films?
You've got Dave Batista.
Okay, Dave Batista to Roseanne.
I feel like Stellan Skarsgård is in the Dune films as well.
Well, Dave Batista was in Spectre. He played
Was he?
he played Mr. Hinks, the henchman,
Ah,
alongside
didn't know
Daniel
that.
Craig.
Yeah. He was in Knives Out with name an actor or actress. Oh, I fell.
I can get to John Goodman or something, or Desperate Housewives, or Scream.
Okay, yeah, you can get to John Goodman because Daniel Craig was in Bond with Judi Dench. He was in Bond with Pierce Brosnan. He was in Bond with Halle Berry.
Who was in the Flintstones with?
John Goodman. You don't even necessarily have to have Brosnan because I think
Uh,
Dench was Q in the sorry M in the
Die Another Day. Yeah.
yeah. So there you go. You've done it.
Well done. I'm bored.
Wow. What, cleaning this Ferris wheel?
Yeah,
Are you bored of cleaning stuff completely?
maybe if it's going to be like
Oh,
this
maybe.
going forward.
Some of them are, some of them aren't. The temple's a rough one. I had to do that in 3, 4 different goes because I was
God, I
losing
don't, I don't
interest.
know what else we'd play if not this.
Well, you know,
I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't want to go back to Call of the Wild.
no, not really.
No.
Well, I genuinely sent you a list of games that it's pinned and everything. You are the problem here.
Yep.
Maybe what we do is we trim it down to 2 videos a week for a little while.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So
Two
are we
longer
finished?
videos a week.
Oh, okay.
All right. You don't want to spend time with me.
No, I just it's complicated, isn't it? Because the idea for me to do 2 longer videos a week, sorry, a longer video a week, would mean that I'd need to do what's it called? I'd have to do another race at the moment, wouldn't I?
All right. We'll just do two standard sized videos, and we'll see what we do with this third one. I'm sure we'll find something.
Well, there's no reason why. I mean, you're doing Hitman at the moment, aren't you? Maybe you
Yeah.
just do 2 Hitman videos.
Yeah.
And once I'm back up and running, I plan on carrying on doing my streaming/recording. And actually, it's interesting to know. My son has expressed an interest in us recording our gaming together.
Oh, that's not. Maybe he can be the third video. Special guest
Um,
star,
so
a
you know,
child.
we haven't specified when or a schedule or anything like that. We just said we'll play it sometime and we'll record it and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But the game that me and him play is a heck. We could do one tonight. Oh no, we can't really do one tonight because A, it's his bedtime in 45 minutes, and B, um, you'd have to just sit and watch. But
Yeah.
yeah, the gist of the game that we play tends to be a platformy shooting game, and one of us is one colour and one of us is the other, and people could root for their favourite colour.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, but like I say, we've not done that yet because I've been poorly.
My favourite colour is blue.
Well, in that case, I think you'd be rooting for me
Oh,
because the options are blue and orange, and I forget which one's which, but one of us would be blue, and I think it's me.
right.
We'd make it clear. But yeah, no, that was the thing that we talked about.
Yeah. Well,
Because it's nice. We play the game. We might as well record it as
are
well.
you enjoying your Twitch streaming?
Well, I mean, I was enjoying it, even though no one was watching. But I've only done the two, and then my ear was playing up, and I pushed through for the second one, right?
Mm.
And I regretted it afterwards. So I'm
Yeah.
waiting till I'm better before I carry on. I'm not that far into it, and no one was really watching them anyway. So it's not like I'm letting down an audience by taking a quick break now.
Where's this gnome then?
I know. You have to find it.
Oh, I've got pins and needles. Oh,
You know we can turn the Ferris wheel off, don't you?
don't do it. I want to go round.
Oh, we can turn it back on again, I think.
Uh,
What do you know?
well, I'm getting a bit bored.
How long were we going?
56 minutes.
Well, and if you want to call it and we say that we give up halfway through the job, I'll be disappointed, but I'll understand.
Cool. Let me find this gnome and go round with him.
Do you want me to help you look?
Huh?
Do you want me to help you look?
Yes, please.
Whee!
And then we'll go round in
All
the
gotta go together.
Ferris wheel together. Yeah.
Um, Also, I've got one last thing about Star Trek Voyager I want to talk about.
Cool.
There was an episode in which we met Chell. Do you remember Chell?
Uh, I is Chell the one who Chakotay falls in love with? And
No,
no,
I don't think so.
I thought maybe you haven't gotten to that one where she people.
No, because there's Seska,
Yeah,
who is someone that he had a intimate relationship with, and she goes and joins for Kazon.
yeah, that was stupid.
Whereas Chell is a Bolian male
Yeah,
who is in 2 episodes,
yeah,
um, and the video game. And the reason this caught my attention is because I found it.
Oh.
Oh, hang on. There we go.
Oh.
The reason it caught my attention is because he's in 2 episodes, one in season 1, one in season 7, and then the video game. It's like, what the fuck? How the hell have they picked this particular character?
Where are you?
And not only that, I'm making my way down the Helter Skelter.
Okay. Was he at the top?
Yeah.
All right.
Why the hell is that the character they've picked to make a major player in the
Remind
video
me what does he do?
In what?
In Voyager in the show.
Okay, so he's been in precisely 1 episode so far.
Right, where is he?
1 episode.
May I hold him?
No, I'm going to put him in the thing, but you need to get in this one. Get in this one.
Okay. Can we not get in a clean one?
No, just get in.
All right.
We'd have to clean one first.
Go on.
So anyway,
Tell.
he's a member of the Marquis who is put through a training program with Tuvok.
Yeah.
And they learned that maybe they need to be a bit more Starfleet, and he learns that he needs to be a bit more Marquis.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It's near the end of season 1. So anyway, that's a thing that happened. But yeah, like I say, he was in 2 episodes, 1 in season 1, 1 season 7, and he was a major character in the video game. And they got the same actor to do it for all 3. And that caught my attention because I was like,
"Where's the gnome?"
Oh, fuck's sake, Ben!
I didn't do anything.
I did not do anything.
I just saw it shoot up. I drew your attention to when we fucked that up, didn't we?
Hang on. Oh shit. I found him.
Oh, he's left me.
He fell down here. They didn't use the same actor for Star Trek Voyager Elite Force 2, however. They got a different actor to do the voice of that. So I don't really know how I feel about that. Right, where are you? Get down here again. Oh, stay in that one. Hold it.
How do I hold?
I don't know what the button is. It'll tell you. So anyway, yeah, they got the same actor to do it, and it caught my attention. I thought it was worth noting. His name was Derek McGrath.
Well done, Derek
Chill
McGrath.
was one of my favourite characters from the game as well.
Oh right.
He was such a pessimist. He was one of these Murphy's Law followers. But they had to explain what Murphy's Law was to him because being a Bolian, it's not something that he's overly familiar with. So this is the last one that we're going to do for a while then.
Yeah.
Maybe forever.
How have you found Powerwash Simulator?
Well, I liked Powerwash Simulator before we started. I've already done the whole storyline, haven't I?
Yeah, I thought it was good on the whole, but all good things must come to an
the whole
end.
like that.
All good things must come to an end, and I guess next time I'll do 2 Hitman if you want.
Yeah, if you want.
All right.
Works for me.
I do love Hitman, and I think you enjoy watching.
Yeah, because I can take the piss out of you because I've played the game, so I know how shit you are.
And give us time, we'll figure something else out to do for these.
Basically, when Ben can be asked to play a different game, we'll play it. Actually, there's one I saw recently. I think it's free to play, and it's a dungeon crawler game that you play together. PvP/PvE.
Best birds.
I got the achievement as well. I thought I'd already done that one.
Lovely.
Anyway, bye everyone.
Bye. He left me.